up on Lindenwood News, a Granite City murder suspect is caught in Wentzville. What led up to the arrest?
Plus, two brothers who were convicted of murdering their parents 3 decades ago could be resentenced. What this means for the case.
And McDonald's is served with its first lawsuit over an E. coli breakout that killed one person and got nearly 50 others sick. A health official thinks it's the source of the illness.
Those stories and more ahead on Lindenwood News.
Welcome to this edition of Lindenwood News. I'm Lucie Harmon.
And I'm David Kruse.
A man who was charged with murdering his girlfriend was arrested in a Wentzville parking lot. 21-year-old Kaya Holt Biggs was found dead in a parking lot in St. Louis's Baden neighborhood. Police say she was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities found video of her boyfriend taking her to that parking lot where she was found, slit her throat, and then left before coming back an hour later and lit her body on fire. Her family claims that the boyfriend was abusive and has a current restraining order against him. If you or someone you know needs help, you can call the Safe Connections Crisis Helpline at the number on your screen.
A former Lafayette High School teacher has been sentenced to 20 years for charges regarding child abuse. Gutowski was convicted of setting up hidden cameras in his home, restroom, and school office where he filmed victims and shared the images online. The judge sentenced him to a 2-decade term and ordered over $80,000 in restitution. Joseph Gutowski worked for the Rockwood School District from 2006 until his arrest in 2022.
Officials have confirmed 2 cases of bird flu found in Missouri. The CDC says the Missouri patient tested positive H5N1 after having no apparent exposure to animals. Another patient who lived in the same house also tested positive shortly after. The CDC is investigating the source of the virus and has found no evidence to human-to-human transmission. Health officials are investigating the cases.
Officials from the Missouri Department of Revenue are making changes to the driver's license system. The department plans to activate new technologies in an effort to reduce aggravation and speed up long lines. They are introducing tablets to quickly check information and errors, as well as almost 200 new workstations across 270 offices. One big change they plan to implement is allowing adult drivers between 21 and 49 to renew their license completely online for every other renewal period. All of these changes are set to start in November.
Throughout the months of September and October, Rotary Park in Wentzville becomes a blast from the past to celebrate the arts and culture of the community through the St. Louis Renaissance Festival. Lindenwood's Craig Eddy will tell you all about it.
What you're hearing is the sound of hundreds of patrons enjoying a jousting event during the St. Louis Ren Fair in Wentzville. The Ren Fair is an annual festival that happens at Rotary Park where people can enjoy various medieval activities and events together. This year's festival began in September and runs till the end of October during the weekend. Patrons can experience such events as jousts, live music, food and drink, buying merch, and much more. Many event goers choose to dress for the theme and put together costumes and outfits to express themselves and their friends. The festival rents out shops and venues for groups to put out products that fit the theme or play live music to promote their band. One such band found that the heart of the Ren Fair is at its people.
If we're being serious, my personal favorite thing about the Renaissance festivals, yeah, it's really just, it's the patrons, really. Because we tell people when they come to see our shows that they're not just fans or patrons of the festival anymore, they're friends, they're family. We want to see them come back to lots of shows, we want to see them having fun.
The patrons make the event what it is, with costumes and contests and everything in between. The festival lets people immerse themselves in the medieval theme with a twist of pop culture together. According to the captain, the Ren Fair is a place to enjoy yourself and have fun.
The whole atmosphere is about having fun, and it's a great place to be, and if you stop having fun, you get old.
Outside of events and productions, the Ren Fair showcases plenty of art pieces and culture from the patrons themselves, with sections like makeshift villages and personal paintings.
The festivities end October 27th. I'm Craig Eddy for Lindenwood News.
Straight ahead on Lindenwood News. A famous grizzly bear known by wildlife photographers around the world has passed away. We have more information on what led up to this animal's untimely death. Los Angeles District Attorney says he's recommending a resentencing in the decade-old Menendez brothers murder case. Lyle and Eric Menendez are serving life without parole for the 1989 murder of their parents. The resentencing recommendation comes after the DA says that they have evidence pointing to the abuse by their father. The DA says the brothers have been model prisoners working on their own self-improvement and working to better the life of those around them. All of this comes more than 35 years after the shooting and several trials to convict the brothers. For more on this, we take you to Lindenwood University's own political science professor, Barbara Hosto-Marty, to talk about what all of this means.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. So what do you think about the whole case, the original case from 1990?
So the original case has always been a balance between whether these brothers were responding to a lifetime of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, or were they cold-blooded killers? And the new evidence is coming forward that begins to shift the discussion more towards how we deal with people who have suffered decades or lifelong abuse.
Okay, so what value of evidence would need to be brought forward for them to look at reopening a case that's this old?
So at any point in time during incarceration, an individual is allowed to bring forward what's called a habeas corpus claim, which will require the court to at least review their previous conviction, right? But these habeas corpus claims don't have to be granted unless the new evidence rises to the level where the DA would believe that it would overturn or result in a different outcome, right? So that's what the DA is in the process of investigating at this point in time, is whether the new information from Roy Rosario, who was a member of the boy band Menudo during that time frame, and his allegations about being sexually abused in a similar way by Jose Menendez, which was the Menendez brothers' father. So this allows an external corroboration of their abuse claims, in addition to a letter that was discovered that Eric Menendez had sent to his cousin 12 months before.
Interesting. So why do you think it took this long for this new evidence to come out? 'Cause, I mean, it's 35 years later. That's way longer than I think it would take for someone to come back and look at this.
Well, it all hinges on Rosario's decision to come forward, right? If he was not willing to share his experience of abuse until, I think, 2023, right? It triggered nothing on behalf of the DA, right? The Menendez brothers have been professing their innocence and working all of the appeals processes that are available to them for 35 years, right? But it's until something significant, earth-shaking, right, occurs that the DA has to take action, right? So you have Rosario coming forward, you have the discovery of the letter. These two forces add additional credibility to the habeas corpus claim.
So with this new evidence coming forward, they're going to reopen the case. And so what level do you think their rehabilitation efforts within prison are going to add to their story?
Right. So the DA now has a reason to look at it with the new evidence. There is an increased climate and interest in the Menendez case, right, following Ryan Murphy's second season of Monster, right? But, as again, the decision was never, they confessed to the crime, clearly, right? So the DA always has to take this new evidence and this new interest and balance it against the fact that these are confessed murderers of a pretty heinous crime, right? So fortunately for him, or if he's looking for additional cover politically, that this rehabilitation and the fact that they are different people now in their 50s than they were in their late teens and early 20s, right, adds additional room for this particular case to be revisited.
Okay, and so what do you think is the most interesting thing about this case as a whole in the wider scheme of our like political climate in our world?
So the wider question behind this case is the degree to which long-term physical abuse would allow individuals to take the law into their own hands, right? And question the other flaws within our justice system, right? And so should this be the only case we revisit, or should we revisit a lot of other cases that have a similar mitigating circumstance?
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us. We will be right back after the break.
A beloved Teton grizzly bear, 399, is fatally struck by a car in Wyoming. Teton National Park says the 28-year-old grizzly bear was identified by her ear tags and microchip 399 was loved by wildlife photographers worldwide. She was known as the oldest reproducing female grizzly bear in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. She gave birth to 18 cubs over the years. Teton National Park says that these types of accidents are not uncommon, as the average number of grizzly bear mortalities in the GYE is 3.3 bears a year.
A man in Greeley, Colorado sues McDonald's for E. coli outbreak. A suit was filed against McDonald's when the CDC issued a food safety alert warning after dozens of people reported being sick after eating McDonald's sandwiches. The silvered uncooked onion is being investigated for the cause of the outbreak. This is causing concern that any McDonald's could cause more cases of E. coli. So far, 26 people have been reported being sick in Colorado and 23 other cases across the 9 states. McDonald's is cooperating with the CDC to find a solution.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is an organization that works to help patients suffering from blood cancer since 1949. But this foundation has always been more than money. To learn about the people involved, we have a reporter at their annual Light the Night Walk.
Coy Reeves has been working with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society since 2019.
I was fortunate to get involved with Leukemia and Lymphoma Society because I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma in 2019. So a friend was also diagnosed, and she mentioned Light Night to me and came down to visit, and I got involved with LLS. Saw their fundraising efforts they had and how impactful it was around the St. Louis area.
Reeves is now acting as an executive challenge chair for the yearly Light the Night Walk. He told us his favorite part of working with LLS.
My favorite things about being involved are just seeing the impact and the things it does to the people around the area, seeing the different stories and learning how new advancements have come out of the cancer research from LLS.
In total, this year he raised $16,365 for his friend Christina Mitchell, who passed away in 2021. Reeves is not the only one who raises money in the memory of someone they lost to blood-related cancer. Caitlin Barnett goes to Light the Night when she can to honor the memory of her own loved one.
I am here walking in remembrance of my grandmother. My mom's mom passed away from lymphoma.
Overall, the event raised more than $813,000 this year. Make sure to keep an eye out for Light the Night Walk next year in St. Louis Forest Park to help LLS and Coy Reeves raise more money for people suffering from leukemia and lymphoma.
For Lindenwood News, this is Jia Buck.
Nice weather stays this week despite winter slowly approaching, but the Midwest will also be getting some rain even with the warm temperatures. More on this after the break. Welcome to weather. I'm Jia Buck. Looking at our map here, there is a stationary front going from Utah to southern Minnesota, where the northern cold front and the southern warm front have mingled. A cold front is sweeping down from Southern California to Arizona and New Mexico over here. And you can see on the southeastern coasts, there is a lot of rainy weather, including this dotted line showing that there's a low system causing thunderstorms in the area. In St. Charles, it's currently 64 degrees, while in Maryland Heights and St. Louis, there's warmer weather at 68 and 70 degrees, with low chances of rain this Thursday morning. While in St. Peters and O'Fallon, there is a high of 67 degrees in both areas with higher chances of rain. Now, looking at our local forecast for the next 5 days, the weather will be fluctuating between cloudy and sunny here at the end of the week, with temperatures in the low 60s. Then on Saturday night, rainy weather will be coming and is predicted to stay for Sunday and Monday, with the temperatures in the 70s. That's all for weather. Now, back to Elizabeth with sports.
St. Louis goes crazy for baseball and hockey. Some of St. Louis's favorite players, recent awards and injuries coming up next on Lindenwood News. Welcome to sports. I'm Elizabeth Boaz. Blues alternate captain Robert Thomas is on the injured list until reevaluation in December. In last Tuesday's home game against the Winnipeg Jets, early in the third period, Thomas blocked a shot that resulted in fracturing his ankle. Captain Braden Shen says, "Not the news you're wanting when you walk into the rink this morning, but he's our best player. He's a guy that drives the bus for us, but at the end of the game, it's part of the game, and we're going to need everyone to step up, myself included, and we've got to do it collectively." Cardinals fans have celebrating former player Tommy Edman on winning the National League Championship Series Most Valuable Player Award with his new team, the LA Dodgers. Edman played the first 6 seasons for the Cardinals, but much to fans' dismay, was traded this summer. Less than 3 months after being traded, Edman heads to the World Series after his team clinches the NLCS title. Our women's Lions volleyball team is dominating with an impressive 16-7 record. Winning the OVC Player of the Week titles nearly every week of the season, our Lions have been on their A-game. Between Allie Ottman winning Center of the Week 5 times this season, Autumn Bax winning Freshman of the Week 4 times, and Jessie Seidel winning Defensive Player of the Week twice, our Lions are aiming to stay lethal as we near the OVC Championship Tournament, hoping to take home a title. That's all for sports. Back to you, Lucie.
Musician Jelly Roll makes a dream come true for a woman battling terminal cancer. Miller says her prayers were answered as she got her dying wish to meet her favorite artist. Before his performance at the Enterprise Center on the 23rd, Jelly Roll met with Miller one-on-one backstage to talk and share a prayer. Miller says that she believes that he sings from the heart, which is rare. The James Best Foundation was responsible for making this once-in-a-lifetime meetup happen. That's it for Lindenwood News. I'm Lucie Harmon.
And I'm David Kruse. Thank you for joining us.